I don't know. I just think the amount of people that are even in their 30s, all the way up until their 80s and 90s, I think that their their life is done. Like they have nothing left to do, that they sort of have stopped caring about what they do and what they accomplish. It is enormous. It's astronomical, to be honest, where you look around and you think like, hey, I'm done, right? Like a lot of people, what they'll end up doing is maybe they get their house, or, maybe they get an apartment, or maybe they have, kids, or, they don't get into school, or you name it. And then they determine that this is their life and this is what they're going to experience for the rest of their life. And they kind of give up on it. And, you know, I get it. I really do get it that it is a little exhausting, right, to get rejection repeatedly. But one way to think about all of this is to think that you got to perform at the best and the top at all the time, right? That is one way, and I think that's the nature when everybody is sold, is that, you know, particularly in this day and age, if you're not, you know, beauty supermodel, or, the, for the guy version is that they're all jacked up on steroids. Um, and having a life where you're like this dude. It's like so stereotypical. Their skin is all red. um they have a suit on, they're jacked, like enormous, and they're flying around or driving some Lamborghini or something like that, which the whole thing is fake. But if you're not living that life and you don't have that sort of bizarro world that does not exist, that you're somehow not good enough, and then you determine that you should quit, or just kind of give up on it all. That's one way to think about it. Another way to think about it is you are successively, not successfully, successively, and many times you're trying many, many times, and you're trying to find the little crack in the ground that is going to accept you. Or imagine like you're a tree, right? And you're in I don't know, you're in Manhattan, and your job as a tree is to release a bunch of seeds all over the place, to find a little crack in the ground that that will actually find itself and then grow another tree. That's your entire task. But when you look at this, you'd be like, oh my gosh, this is overwhelming, right? Like I've got to release all of these seeds, millions of seeds all over the place, um, to try to find this little crack. But if you find this little crack and it was successful, a big giant oak tree grows and it turns into something. Now, I want you to sort of think about these opportunities that exist, and your job is to just not give up, right? That's a different story, and that is a much more realistic story of the nature of what's actually going on. Is you're probably not that good, just like everybody else, but I mean, we all suck, right? Like all of us suck. And our job is to find the one of a thousand chances where somebody is going to give you a chance, right? Like most people are going to like ignore you, and they're going to be shitty to you, all of this sort of basic life stuff that you get, um, and just basic life stuff, right? Your job is to find the moment out of a million moments where somebody has their guard down, or somebody doesn't care, or you bump into the right person who's really, really nice and caring and all that kind of stuff, and you actually do something with it. That's a different story, and I think that is very plausible.